Fill her up.
You're listening to the Gas Digital Network.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Lev Fer Show. We are back, baby. We are live. I hope you're watching this at gasdigitalnetwork.com. You can use promo code LEV for a 7-day free trial. Jump in the live chat. Watch these episodes days early. And we've got two very special guests in the building. I'm very excited. Our first guest, repeat offender, been on the show before.
I have.
Might know him from the Character Debates podcast, the great Drew Dunn.
What's going on?
Woo.
How are you?
In the
So good to see you, Lev.
What's going on, baby? And we got a second guest in the building. Very excited to have this man on. The great H. Foley.
Oh, thanks, buddy.
Of Are You Garbage?
Yeah.
Two hilarious comics in the building, man.
Good to be here, pal. Drew, good to meet you, buddy.
Yeah, good to meet you too, man.
Yeah, when I posted you guys both in the YouTube premiere today, people were stoked. You guys both got fans active,
Oh,
ready,
hell yeah.
coming to see you boys. So
Looks like my stepson.
I'm not going to call you dad. Not yet.
give him 4 minutes.
Give me a few minutes.
Get in there, clean your room, all right? Screw around.
Oh, dear.
I just had a dude hit me up outside trying to do the Zelle scam. You know the Zelle scam?
No, what is that?
This kid walked up to me. He's like, hey, man, this bar I'm at has a card minimum of $5. I don't have my card on me. Can I Zelle you something? Like, get the fuck out of here with that shit.
Yeah.
Clean cut looking kid, too.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, it's got to be part of the scam, right?
Of course.
The first $50 you scam goes into the button-down shirt,
Yeah,
the hair
yeah.
product.
Yeah, a little wardrobe, a little overhead. I respect it.
What'd you say to him?
I just looked at him. I was like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, you're like, I was actually about to ask you.
Yeah.
Clean-cut kid like yourself. It's only $10. Let's get this handled.
Yeah, who do you work for? I got my guy. I got my Zell guy. My
Yeah, my
Zell
Coke
pimp.
dealer has a $20 minimum, believe it or not.
Yeah, so we got fucking, I was just on the train down here, and I was opened up my internet browser because I was looking at the Skankfest lineups. I was
Okay.
I was like, who do I hate? Like,
Yeah.
who I was trying to find names I don't like.
Yeah.
I couldn't find many, but before I pulled it up on the tab, I realized I had porn on my fucking browser, and like I'm sitting right in the middle of the train, of course, and like there's two heads looking over me, older guy, younger chick,
Right.
And I'm just immediately like, fuck, and you can't freak out because that brings more attention. You know,
That's not mine, I swear to God.
I just found this phone.
This guy's a freak, though, I'll tell you that.
all right. Everybody has to help me $10. I'll figure out how to close this porn here. I had
And you're just raw dogging like regular. You're not using incognito mode, nothing. You're just out there leaving the browser up. Just
even when I had a trans porn phase for a week, I did an incognito. I was like,
Wow.
I am who I am.
Good for you.
I'm just gonna fucking lean in.
Yeah.
I delete the browser history, but yeah, incognito. I don't like a VPN and stuff like that. Yeah, fuck it. A hacker wants to find that shit. Good luck. Good luck with the nightmares. What I'm looking at.
It's just a hacker just blows his brains out on the other side of the fucking other laptop.
Just watching fat guy on fat guy porn. Who is that for?
Yeah, I mean, the porn star that got me is Autumn Falls. I don't know if you guys are familiar.
Pull
with
her up.
this.
Let's see her.
Yeah.
We got to pull up the Autumn Falls. I think she's got the best knockaroos in the game.
Really?
if I might say.
Knockaroos?
Knockaroos. It's a cereal and a brand.
I believe they're called Waboombas.
Yeah, can we pull up Autumn Falls? I mean, she might be the hottest porn star in the fucking game today. By the way, Foley,
There you go.
I got comment after comment here talking about how dapper you're looking today. These guys
thank you.
They're loving you in the live
Funny,
chat,
I
baby.
just got out of bed an hour ago. I still have my CPAP line on my nose.
Did this TV just die? What the fuck happened? There we go. God, look at those knockaroos, man.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
God, I mean, geez, the guy would shoot my girlfriend in the head.
You know who's very attractive? Sky Bree.
Yeah. She's
beautiful.
She's gorgeous, but
Gorgeous.
She's been on like every podcast now, and she's done like Adam 22's thing where like I just feel like all of LA's
That
ran
guy gets
through
fucking
her.
laid.
Yeah,
Adam 22.
he gets paid. to
The
get
first
laid.
time I saw that guy, he was doing, it wasn't porn, but he had his wiener out and some girl was putting her mouth on it. I don't know what it was.
Where was this?
I don't know. I think it was on Twitter.
Well, he has a podcast where he interviews a porn star, and then him and his wife fuck the porn star. They did this while his wife was pregnant with their baby, which is like insane to me. You like you shouldn't be able to fuck while pregnant for porn.
Yeah, not on camera. I mean, but I don't know. But it just turns into the abortion argument all over again. Like, is it a kid or isn't it a kid?
She's like 9 months pregnant. Her water's breaking on this guy's dick in the fucking video, and they're like monetizing it. It's fucking You don't think that's
you know how much a stroller costs these days? What are you talking about? Do what you got to do.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like the kid, like, at 8 months, you might have a right to be like, I'm not ready to be on fucking OnlyFans.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He's 13. Wait a minute. Who's in there? Motherfucker.
You got to sit your parents down at 16 and be like, by the way, I want my cut.
Yeah.
The 40 grand from the bird feeder.
I saw the numbers we did on that
Lay out the
episode.
residuals.
Yeah. And that Sky Bree is a bad babe. But
Yeah.
could you guys fuck a porn star? Like, if perfect, like, out in the wild, she approached you, she's like, I really
This guy
want
a friend of yours? What are you, fucking nuts? Of course. Yeah, what are you, crazy?
No, I'd only do it with amateurs. I would never want to do a professional. Are you kidding
You don't
me?
think it's kind of gross?
No, we're all gross.
Half
What are
the
you,
peop-
nuts?
Half the people walking around the streets in New York have higher numbers than porn stars.
You think
Or
so?
at least comparable. Yeah.
I don't know what it is. I feel like I don't know what like shame part it hits in me, but I just feel like, man, this chick is nasty. Like she's taking
We're all
1,000
nasty.
cocks.
What are you talking about? I'm sure you had a couple of summers fucking tearing through the East Village.
Yeah, those were good days. That was the exact neighborhood too. The outside of the East Village, my power shrank dramatically. It was at those dive bars.
I remember the first time I saw you, this good-looking motherfucker. He's probably fucking tearing through this place.
I was just in the middle of fucking. I'm just, hey, Foley, how are you? What's
Going on?
dude?
No, I'm about to go up.
Yeah, Foley, you know what I love about you, both you and Kevin, though, are Kevin Ryan, your co-host, Are You Garbage podcast. Great fucking show.
Thanks, buddy.
I love that you guys have always been good dudes. You know what I
Thanks,
mean?
man.
Like nice guys. Like you, like Soder's the same way, where
Yeah.
they're just like always fucking good dudes to young comics.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
A lot of guys, not so much.
So much.
A lot of guys are, though, man. Schultze, fucking Chrissy D.
Yeah.
All those guys, all real nice.
Yeah, they've all been good. So it's I genuinely try to only get people on this show that I think are good dudes. You know, there's no women.
Yeah, right. Of course. It's in the title of the show.
Stuck that
Lev,
in
you
there.
know?
Gotta keep it funny, you know. If I'm not fucking these broads, what's the point? Yeah, we got a couple porn stars coming on next week, so I'm excited to.
Really?
No, we.
You wouldn't do that? You wouldn't interview a porn star?
I would They would have to be like that level, and I think I'd be mean to them.
Oh, right.
What? Why?
I think I would like let them know, like, just, you know, I'm going to say some judgmental stuff about sex work.
Yeah, I don't think they'd agree to do the show.
But I was watching on the train down here. Fucking hypocrite.
Yeah, I was watching you work in public, but let me tell you, what you do is disgusting.
It is kind of fucked up, right? This
Yeah, it's very
hypocrisy.
fucked up.
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing. I like to watch it. I like to see it, but that doesn't mean I want it, like, you know, in my home. This is a fantasy world, porn.
Hey, I'm bringing her to Thanksgiving. Jesus.
Yeah, I know. Gee. Well, maybe he is. He's watching in the bathroom.
Could you ever
Brady's
seriously
getting
date a
bored.
porn star?
Sure.
Date? No, I don't know. Date.
Foley, you're a wild boy.
I don't have any hang-ups with that shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever's whatever.
That's what it is. I see. I thought I was just a Shapiro fan, but it turns out I got hangups. Is that what? This might be hangups. No, you know, we're at Gas Digital. We like to lean in. But yeah, I think I would have some porn stars on, but I have said disparaging things in the past on this show, and
Yeah.
I worry that would get pulled up.
Well, isn't that what you want? You'd want someone to just address all that with you. You know,
Yeah.
it's going to be like, hey, here's not how it is. You know, when I show up, it's not straight to anal. You got to earn it, or it's a certain price. Or don't you want someone to come in and break that down to you? Maybe that'll make you want to buy one.
Professional operations.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know, but I also don't want somebody to come in that like studied to debate me on this, because they're gonna win on anything. Like, it doesn't matter. The topic could be me; they'd beat me.
Yeah.
Because I'm just not preparing for much.
It's fair
you know?
enough.
But yeah, and Drew, you just started opening up for Dane Cook.
I did, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah,
Isn't that
fucking
wild?
DC's back at it again, baby.
Yeah. What is that? What is it?
I don't know. He tells me to say that. I'm just kidding.
Now, if anybody is. If
anybody is,
DC's
tell
back at it again.
Here's the quote.
I was thinking about, because like it just randomly hit me the other day, because like we grew up on fucking Dane Cook,
Yeah.
and I am of the belief that if he would have died at like 35. Everybody would be like, that guy was going to be Pryor. Like,
Right,
everybody would be
right.
like, he just would have been one of the greatest legends, I think.
Changed the game, right? With the MySpace clips. Is that what it was?
Yeah.
MySpace?
What was that? And he was like going on AIM chats and just like engaging with people and like being like, "Hey, what's up? I say something funny. Now come to my show this weekend." Like
That's
that kind
awesome.
of stuff in the super early days of the internet.
Yeah.
It's
Shout out to
wild.
him.
Yeah, I mean, and also like people shit on him as a comic, but he had some great stuff.
Yeah, he did. I feel like everybody has at least one joke you can think of that like hit you a certain way that he had in
Yeah.
some special. You know, whether it's like the the office shooter bit or the heist joke or some shit like that. Like there was something that like I would always quote to my buddies or something like that. So it's surreal talking to him, dude. Because
How's the road with him? He treat you good?
Yeah, he treats you well.
Take you out, bite to eat?
Yeah, go out, nice restaurants, very nice guy, genuine, offering advice if you want it, just trying to be like a good dude. So
It's like, find an 18-year-old.
yeah, he's like, all right.
We can edit that out. We'll edit that out. That's fine. No, but we're fans of the Danester over here, you know. But that it is funny. Like you think, like you know, we're all relatively young fellas, and you think about, you know, you grew up watching this guy, and they're just randomly fucking opening for him on the road. Like,
it's
you never
surreal,
expect
man.
that.
Yeah, I mean, he was like, I mean, he's kind of like my generation's Dice to a point where he was the first guy in a while to really bust through to that like arena level, and then had the super fast rise, and then kind of just disappeared, did his own thing for a while. So it's interesting to see him kind of navigate this world now and what he's doing. So
Yeah, arenas back in the day, too. That's fucking wild.
yeah, doing like TD Garden in like 2006 and MSG like 2008
crazy.
and shit is insane.
People had like foam fingers of his like hand sign. Like he just figured out every branding aspect. It was
Bro, if you can move foam fingers, you're fucking doing all right. You're doing all right.
that's a new metric. Like there's one thing to sell out the garden. It's another to do it with the fingers out.
With the big styrofoam cowboy hat.
People got like special fucking beer hats with the straws and shit.
Yeah, that's all right, man.
He was crushing. I hope he still has fucking good money sitting around.
I mean, his house is nice. I went to his house.
You did?
He's got your stereotypical LA mansion still. So yeah,
Can you draw
Shoes off when you go in?
shoes on? He didn't care.
Really?
I'm sure somebody's coming around.
He was like getting new floors put in daily. Walk as much as you want. Take your Heelys out.
He did have the stereotypical rich guy fridge with all the drinks full to the very top. That was satisfying.
Oh, really?
to see. Yeah.
awesome.
Capri Suns, Mountain Dews, and bottles.
Really?
Like exotic shit.
That's
yeah.
all right.
Yeah.
Exotic shit.
He had the old Sunny D's.
Yeah,
he had them flown in.
Holy
Sunny
shit, is that Riptide Rush? God damn.
What is y'all's like soda or like if you had a rich guy fridge or stock of that fridge, what's going in that bad boy?
Now we're talking.
Yeah.
Great question. Drew, you go first. Go ahead.
I'm gonna put some like apple juice cans in there, some grape juice.
Are we
in
talking
there.
Martinelli's or are we going like?
We're going Martinelli's apple juice. We're gonna
good
go
stuff.
Welch's on the grape. We're gonna
Nice.
we're gonna get some. I love the fucking like the Jarritos sodas, like the mango Jarritos. I'm getting a couple of those in there.
Going international.
Fruit punch Jarritos is good.
What about the tamarind one? You ever get one of those by accident?
I'm
They're
not
fucking
risky enough.
brutal.
Yeah.
Oh, that one always reminds you of like an ex-girlfriend. As soon as you
they
taste
stink.
it, yeah, it's like there's a bitterness to it. you know?
I got one of those by accident. What is this, peanut flavor?
The way we drink soda too, though, you didn't even realize it tastes bad until the whole thing's empty.
Yeah.
You just
Crush it.
one shot it. And you're like,
Jeez, that was terrible.
Still crushed it, though. Yeah, it's all right.
I think the one drink that came to mind for me is fucking. If I was like rich guy hanging out, it's
Yeah.
gonna be Mountain Dew Code Red.
Now, is this in the main fridge or is this side drink fridge?
This is main.
This is main fridge.
show off to the boys. Fridge.
Okay.
Okay.
You got
All
a
right.
camera crew in the living room. Fridge.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Code Red. I respect it.
Code Red's good.
Code Red is like you don't get. You're like I don't give a fuck about my life.
You got to do
anymore.
20-ounce bottles on that, though.
Yeah, 20s minimum.
Yeah.
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 Can't use cans of Code Red. I don't even know if they make cans of Code Red. I think it's illegal.
Yeah. Putting the youth at risk.
That's what it's the new water at East Palestine.
You like a Martinelli's, though, huh? I respect that.
I do like a Martinelli's. That's
Yeah.
they have them at like the corner store next to my apartment.
The
here,
little
and
bangers,
I'll
the
get
little
the little
grenades?
bangers. I like the
Yeah.
big ones, but they don't always have them.
Sure.
Big ones are just like those will disappear.
I
That's the
first
problem.
came across them as a kid when on like Thanksgiving or whatever. If they got like the non-alcoholic champagne,
Oh,
you know, like
yeah.
for the kids,
Yeah, yeah,
the
yeah.
sparkling cider, whatever it was always Martinelli's mixed berry. Shit was fucking fire.
I'll be honest, the Martinelli's though, it's like it's in a glass jug. They're like $10. And like
Yeah.
when I drink one, I'm just like, I don't deserve this. This is crazy.
They're so good.
Like you shouldn't have a 540 credit score and be drinking Martinelli's.
Yeah,
it just
so
seems like a bad priority list, you know?
They're perfect though. If you're mad at the world, you get a $2 fucking thing, chug the juice down, and just throw it. Whatever
Just
the fuck.
lob it into
Yeah.
some window.
Yeah, exactly.
Just as a fucking nade.
I got bad allergies.
Do you?
Never before.
What are you allergic to?
I don't fucking know something, but I took some Flonase yesterday and today, and it worked. But I feel like that's just honey. You ever do Flonase?
No,
that's
it smells
you shoot it up the nose.
Yeah,
right?
it smells real sweet. I don't trust it, but I don't know what it is. It's a pollen or something. You got me all fucking jammed up.
Somebody in the live chat said brings up a great point. Topo Chico.
Topo Chico,
Classy.
extra
good
spicy
Yeah.
water.
Did you guys do jugs when you were a kid or hugs? The little
Oh,
look like
yeah.
little barrels.
I remember those.
They burned like hell going down.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was just like those freezy pops.
Yeah.
Well, those were like 99 cents for a gallon of them. So like they burned because they were trying to get you ready for the fucking
bad.
vodka you would drink a year
For
later.
the rest of your life.
They're like, can we add a little burn to this one? Yeah. Part of the process, they put a cigarette out in each one of them. Yeah, dude, the Topo Chico Twist of Lime, though, that's a fucking luxury beverage right there. That's
Topo
some good
Chico's,
stuff.
yeah, rich guy drink for sure.
Fucking good
Place
stuff.
where I grew up, I was born in Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania, and there was a soda company called the Crystal Soda Company, and they used to put out this 24 variety pack of cans.
Okay.
It would be like Swiss cream soda, the best root beer, a chocolate soda, lemon lime, a grapefruit, but they had this one flavor called Cherokee Red. Not the most politically correct.
Yeah, they're now known as Washington Football Red.
But it was a cherry soda, man. It was fucking banging. Good.
Dude, I think genuinely if a drink has red in it, it's going to be 20% more banging going down.
It's a risk though, because sometimes the reds are too much. Like if it's a cherry and it just says like cough syrupy flavor.
Cherry is the most popular flavor, though, right? Would you say across the board as far as the country? That's
a good
always the
question.
first one.
Probably, yeah.
Either that or like a punch. I feel like the punches are always like
I'll give you a
go-to.
punch. Sure.
But it is still red. It is still red
Yeah.
at the end of the day.
You remember when Coke Cherry came out? I was a kid at Disney World. I was
Yeah.
like, this is going to take over. I felt like Rogan looking at Tim Dillon. I was like, there's something here.
Wait, why? Were they sampling it at when you were down there?
It had just hit shelves when I was down there, and I was like at Disney as a kid, and I was like, "Tell me you guys have the new shit," and they were like, "We do." And, at some point they were like, they ran out of Coke Cherry, and they started just mixing like cherry flavoring into Coke because it was like such a hit. Like everybody, Florida was on that wave.
It's not the same. It's not the same.
No,
Neither is that red machine they have at the movies now. Where you order regular Coke and you add the cherry syrup or whatever. Doesn't taste the same. Cherry Coke has a specific flavor.
Yeah.
But that happened to me with vanilla Coke.
Yeah, vanilla Coke.
It was one Labor Day and I stayed in the city. This was years ago. I stayed in the city and I went over to the Intrepid to go around and look at like the ships and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Or maybe it was Fleet Week or something because there was a bunch of ships there.
How crazy is it that they remember the date that certain Coke flavors came out?
Because it wasn't out yet. They were like testing it. They were giving it out to everybody. They either had just launched it or they were testing it, and they had fucking like
They chose battleships to unleash it on. They were like, you guys are the real patriots.
the place was packed. They had ice bins like this that were just filled with fucking cans of vanilla Coke, and it was like 100 degrees that day. Woo!
Oh, that adds like 5 points.
Oh,
enjoyment
man,
too.
crushing them.
Yeah, it's always a hot day when you try a new flavor, you know?
Yeah.
When you're
It's over.
Especially a
strolling memory lane.
Coca-Cola. Something about a Coca-Cola on like a hot day when it's nice and cold. It just
Yeah.
hits a little different.
But also, that's what I love about like a Diet Coke too, is like half of it is like the burn. It's like, yes, fuck me up.
I just read that article about Coke that whatever plant in New Jersey that they have is where they bring in the cocoa leaves
Okay.
to manufacture it. And if they processed it to be cocaine, they would be putting out like $2 billion worth of Coke every year.
So how much in Coke do you think they're actually putting out underground? I mean, they can't be putting out zero.
That's what I like to see.
Yeah, it's got to be something.
Getting in the market.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right there in New Jersey. Perfect spot.
Would you rather have unlimited access to? Okay, here's the trade-off: unlimited cocaine with no side effects, or unlimited Coca-Cola for the rest of your life, no side effects. You could just chug the shit.
But Coke's not going to kill me.
Neither will harm you in any way.
Wake up the next morning, feel good, feel fresh.
Feel great. Feel as good as we feel.
Okay.
I wouldn't say great, but
better?
But if I have the Coca-Cola, I won't get fatter.
no, you will not.
Really?
No impact on cholesterol, blood pressure, nothing.
That's tough.
Yeah, that's hard.
That's a tough one.
I'm going Coca-Cola all day on this. It's not even a debate to me.
Yeah. I mean, it has to be Coca-Cola for me. I'm not a Coke guy anyway, but with no side effects, that's what gets me. I'm like, well, if we can just have the whole world in our hands.
Can I do half and half? It's the wiggle room here.
Diet Coke and Adderall. That's what you get instead.
You can do half and half, but you got to do a weekly visit to the Intrepid. You got to pick it up.
Gotta pick it up at the submarine.
Let's jump in. Everybody's fucking talking about this story. The Dalai Lama.
Dalai Lama.
The Dalai Lama is apologizing. Did you guys see this shit? He was like making out with a kid.
The Dalai Lama was making out with a kid?
Yeah, this is what I was watching on the train today. I got in trouble for this. Can we pull this video up?
It's usually not their MO. It's interesting.
You guys haven't heard about this?
No.
No, I haven't seen anything.
The Dalai Lama's like, I guess he's like a pedophile now or something.
Huh.
Yeah, wasn't Gandhi like a creep too?
I feel like anytime anybody gets so spiritual, they always want to connect with the kids on a different level. It's like something, even with cults, it gets like that. It's a weird thing. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't want to talk shit about Gandhi, but I think he closed some ass. I think he was a bit of a womanizer, but I could be wrong.
a guy heard that he used to like sleep with 14-year-olds, so like to tempt himself, like sleep next to them to be like, no, see, I can resist a perfect 14-year-old. Like
Shifty.
Yeah.
Is that his nephew or something?
It's just some kid, dude. The kid wanted a hug from the Dalai Lama. The other thing I don't like, we can't see where this kid's hand is.
Yeah.
Whoa, what the fuck?
Well, and it cuts. It cuts at the tongue.
They cut this version, so I think in the full length I watched, it's on OnlyFans.com/Dalai Lama. Use promo code Lev. They touch tongues, I think, and I think the Lama says to him like, "Hey, suck on my tongue." And that's what he had to like apologize for.
I mean, how old is this guy? He's like senile, right? I
He's
mean,
old.
He looks like a crazy old guy at like a nursing home that should be in a wheelchair that everyone waves to in the morning.
Well, this brings us into our game of the week. Is this creepy or is this some old Taiwanese shit?
That's the game of the week.
Is it just old Taiwanese shit or is it creepy? You know?
I was hoping you prepared like an intro chime or something like that, with a gong at the end or something. You know?
How about this one?
It's a bit of a poseur, you ask me.
That'll work.
Not bad.
Yeah, I don't know, because it is, every country's got different customs and shit, the way they like.
Nobody's got stick out my tongue and suck on it to a kid. What are you talking about?
Sucking a tongue.
I'm just-
Tough one.
I'm trying to play host here, all right?
Maybe the Italians. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, so are we just all in? We're going all around the room. We're voting creepy all day on this?
Yeah, what?
It wasn't weird until the tongue thing. I'll say that. He was kissing him like, I'm an old guy. Let's kiss the little kid.
Yeah.
It's a little weird, but it's like Tom Brady kissing his kid's weird. It's fine. You
I
know
found
what
another
Like,
version, but they're blurring out the kid's face now. I think they're retroactively censoring it.
Really?
So you could kind of see it if you want.
Finally, here also. And suck.
I love that. There's also
tongue.
a full crowd clapping.
You can tell the kid's not into it.
Thank you.
So it said he said he often teases people in an innocent way, and that he regrets going that far because he was probably like, you kissed me, that's my now suck my tongue. Oh
Yeah.
shit, I should have said that.
Well, he loves.
Like that's a weird progression of thoughts to
It's
get
just as
there.
crowd work.
Yeah, we all sometimes you go down the wrong road. What are you gonna do?
Yeah, he had this hilarious prank where he like blew 12 kids in a week or something. Like that.
Yeah, so funny.
I was kidding. Come on.
The Dalai Lama.
Yeah, I mean, what are we even fucking? What is this guy even known for, really? Like, he walks around preaching about meditation. That he's like advertised by the Calm app or some shit, right?
Yeah, something like that.
It's like his whole thing.
I think he has some credentials over the last 60 years. Like, you're trying to dismiss. Who is this guy anyway? Yeah. He had a small part on Roseanne. What are we doing?
Well, the Dalai Lama is a weird thing because isn't it like they die? It's almost like the Avatar. It is kind of like that. Like that show, The
Last
Avatar, where they're
Tongue
like they like bring kids a bunch of toys and then they crawl to the certain one. They're like, he's the next Dalai Lama. It is some shit like that.
It
I'm
is
pretty
like
sure.
that. And see, they're using a child to measure it even. They're like, whichever creep this child crawls towards, he'll be our new pedophile. What is it about these guys, like, all these like cults and shit, they get, their leaders are all just fucking, they're in robes,
Yeah.
they're tricking these kids. Because what are you? You're Catholic, I'm guessing?
Catholic.
Yeah, so you get some repressions, like, why is it, what are these just all masquerades for creepy fellas?
I mean, I don't know if it's one or the other. It's kind of like, it's like the cop argument. Like, what is it? The job attracts that kind of person, or does the job turn you into that kind of person? I don't know.
You think it's the job aspect of it?
Hey, if I was a creepy guy, what better place to be in charge of some sort of house where I get alone time with the kids and
Yeah.
I can spread my ideas? Yeah, I mean that's
Spread my ideas.
and then more spread a lot of stuff. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Or is it that you get this power and maybe like, especially for the cult stuff, maybe you just get bored. You're fucking everything. You're fucking everybody's wife. You're like, I bet you I can fuck their kids too.
Yeah, I mean, those
You know?
cult guys are fucking egomaniacs.
Yeah,
That's why they're in it.
With this Dalai Lama thing, I don't know. Because, yeah, it's supposed to be like spirituality or whatever. And he's like the head fucking chill guy, I guess, is basically to sum it up in an asshole's terms. Like
That's how they pick him.
he's
They're
the
like,
head chill guy.
they're like,
Dude.
he's the chillest dude we have.
Yeah,
like, it's got to be.
He didn't
him,
even
dude.
cough after the volcano.
Hookah necklace.
He's like, that guy cracked 3 fucking Miller Lights, dude, before we killed one.
He's
Like,
mad chill, dude.
like we knew it was him when we saw that bottle opener under his sandal. That was our dude. Yeah, well, because I remember that movie Spotlight that came out. The big.
Ooh, that was a movie and a half.
That was a movie and a half. Yeah,
Keaton.
Keaton had a hell of a comeback at that time too.
Yeah.
he was like code redding it, dude. He was fucking.
Well, he said that he stepped away because he wanted to raise his kids.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
So he's a pedophile too. This guy.
Gotta go diddle my own kids.
Met a couple of kids at the park.
Yeah,
He's solid.
no, what the fuck were we just talking about? Oh, but Spotlight, the huge reveal was they were like basically pedophiles are vampires because they were like like every priest they interviewed was like, what do you mean my priest did this to me? So they just became like new Draculas.
They just had it again. It was just a big article in Baltimore, in the Archdiocese of Baltimore.
You were up to date on articles. This is the second article you're
Easter just happened, and it came out right before that. Yeah, they were shuffling a bunch of dudes around.
Yeah.
And it was years ago, but it just all kind of came to light. The one archdiocese or the one church or rectory or whatever it is had like 11 dudes in it at one time that were all fucking.
Last time I had 11 dudes in my
Suspect.
rectory, I couldn't walk for a week. Let me tell you.
But no, 11 predators all ended up in like the same place together.
Jesus.
That's crazy.
It is actually, it does not get talked about enough. The fact that these like, when priests are caught doing some wild shit, they just move them.
Yeah.
Like they go on tour. They get a fucking tour bus and shit. They just go. They're like, oh, he'll be our city guy. You
My
know?
question is, does that still happen now? Like that was, because like when Spotlight came out, that had to do with, like 30 years before or something like that. I think it was when.
It's got to happen. Frank, are they moving you anywhere?
That's Father Frank. No.
It's Father Frank.
Hasn't got caught yet.
Got his ass, boys. Huh? How about that?
Yeah, it sucks. It's fucking pretty shifty.
No, say what you will about pedophiles, though. They do make fucking great sound engineers, and you need them. That's what you need in the booth.
You do need that.
With confession booth or sound booth, they are just crushing it in there, Yeah, I don't know. I feel like us Jews, I don't know if I'm just being biased here, but I feel like we have less problems.
You guys have that problem, the rabbis, or no?
I used to work in a ton of kosher restaurants, like waitering.
Okay.
And I would you'd hear a little gossip about what was going on. There was like one rabbi we heard about, but that what I knew is then they would just try to like cover the shit up. They'd be
Sure.
like-
So that's the move.
yeah, because the Orthodox is like a fucking cult. They don't let any outside news in, right? And like they have their own newspapers. They have cell phones that aren't connected to the fucking internet. So it's like very easy to control a story for them like that.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn.
They're like Amish fucking Jews.
Did you grow up Orthodox?
Fuck no. No, I grew up in the South, in North Carolina. I moved here at 18, lived on my grandma's futon for like 5 years in Russian Brooklyn. And what was interesting is in that neighborhood I lived in, it's like all Orthodox. The last porn theater in New York was on that street, off of Kings Highway in Brooklyn.
Sure.
And I went in there one time. I was dating this chick. She was like 18. I was 19. She was like, let's go in. Like, it's going to be great. So we go in this like dirty fucking seedy porn theater. It's all Orthodox Jews. That's all who's in there because they can't get it on their phones. So, and a lot of them were like down low gay, and there were like these like hookup booths in the back. It was like, it's fucking disgusting. Just like 40 black lockers, like small 2-person rooms. Every one of them had a porn screen in it. You could just see jizz on every fucking surface and wall.
They see you. They're like, hey, you messed up my sandwich the other day. Yeah, what you doing here?
I'm like, I'm here to make it up to you, Mohammed.
This is where you brought some poor 18-year-old girl on your first date.
Yeah, there's no Olive Garden over there.
Yeah,
Jesus
they've got no
Christ.
restaurants. You're like, we got to go to the sticky theater.
I swear to God, it was 100% her idea. I was like,
That's what they say.
Yeah.
Believe this guy?
I'm
Or
like,
she was using you as an excuse to go look for her dad or something.
Oh, man. That'd
Honestly-
be a brutal date. She starts bawling, crying.
It's like, Nothing's wrong. It's
So, what are you doing Thursday?
No, we had like she was like my first like real girlfriend essentially, but she was a virgin, and it was like one of those relationships where it was always like, you know, you're a fucking 19-year-old guy, you're like, let's fuck.
Yeah.
She was always like, I don't care about sex, let's not. But even still, she was like, let's go to this porn theater, it's gonna be crazy, right?
Yeah.
But man, the seediness of that fucking place, like every figure in there is just like dark, you know. At one point, we were sitting there watching a porno, and like it'd be like
You stayed for the movie?
we pay $11 a ticket at the time.
Of course.
$11 a ticket wasn't nothing at the time, you know. That's a
I thought
commitment.
they were showing National Treasure. I don't know.
They would actually put up like fake movie posters to hide that it was like a porn theater. They had that Brad Pitt movie, like Killing Them Softly or something.
It's a good movie.
That was like for 5 years. That poster just sat in the fucking front as the one movie they'd play. So they had two theaters. One side was a gay side. One side was a regular side. And I don't know if I can say regular.
Jesus
My
Christ.
apologies. My apologies. And we're sitting there, and like the one dude who was working there walked up to us and handed us a condom. He like came out of the shadows, handed us a fucking condom. As in like, he was like, I want to watch you guys fuck. Just like fucking wild, dude. I'm just holding this condom like, and it wasn't even a good one, so I knew I wouldn't get hard in it. And,
You can only get hard in premium condom.
my dick is very
It's just
bougie.
low quality latex in my cock.
What's this, lambskin? What are we doing?
Yeah. Have you guys ever done like a, you know, I will say lastly though, the seeing porn on like a film screen like that, it does weirdly make it feel like a more artistic experience.
Sure.
Yeah.
Like you start to think, your brain like tricks itself into being like, oh, I'm watching art, but you're really just watching some Florida dude rail out a mother of three.
Yeah, you got to stay pretty locked on the screen to feel that. You start looking around at some other people in the crowd, and you're going to lose the illusion.
A
pretty
naked
quick.
guy using a claw machine in the fucking corner. They literally had like games in the fucking outside. Like
That's all right.
And it's
I love the
closed.
games at regular movie theaters. I always go a couple minutes early.
Yeah,
Especially the claw machines now. They have just little duckies in them.
Yeah.
And they actually let you get them. Like they work.
now, a few things in life feel as good as actually pulling something out of that bad boy.
oh yeah.
Right?
Love them. Love those videos on Instagram where somebody hits those and those things that push the money out.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
the towers of money.
I would
When
love
somebody gets one of those.
I would love if I get one of those in my algorithm every once in a while. I would love if there was nothing but that. You know, right now there's a lot of see-through nudity in my algorithm right now.
Okay. Yeah. Well.
Yeah, I get that too.
You catered
Yeah.
that specifically.
I can't seem to get out of it though, no matter like how much I fucking skip it. They're just like, no, we know who you are.
Yeah, we got
we
you.
know what you like.
The percentages are through the roofs, pal. Don't lie to yourself.
Yeah.
We'll be back tomorrow.
I was thinking like kids now, like nowadays, like, you know, like I feel like everybody I know is like, I want to go find myself. Like all these white people fly to India for a month. And like, I don't think kids coming up now are going to have an issue of finding themselves. Like if you want to know who you are, your algorithm will tell you exactly who you are to a T. It's like, here are the 4 things your brain gets dopamine from. That's who you are, right?
Yeah, I mean, but that's not exactly who you are. You're not only those 4 things. I mean,
That's
maybe
who the
you
system says you are.
Yeah, you can become those 4 things by only consuming that stuff. But
If you let it.
There's a lot of times I get shown stuff and I'm like, yeah, that's who I am now. Like I love watching Korean street food get made. Apparently, I didn't know that about myself until
That's
they
a good
tested the
time.
market. Watching people do woodworking stuff.
Yeah.
You know, that kind of. I would never have just found that.
I was on a big pimple popper phase for a long time.
I can't get into that stuff, dude. I
don't-
try.
yeah, I
The
don't like
people
that.
cleaning their ears and stuff
Ooh,
too.
I
I'm like,
love that. The blackheads inside people's ears when they get them. I can't move. I don't feel satisfied unless they get it out.
So you're sitting there just waiting for
Just
that
dude,
moment.
like waiting for it. And sometimes these fuckers on Instagram, they'll fuck with you. You know, like sometimes they'll put a video up and they'll say, "Wait till the end,"
Yeah.
and
Right,
then
right,
nothing
right.
happens.
Nothing happens.
Bastards.
Well, you got to go to the comments because you got to look for the one guy.
Check it out, sure.
Scope the scene, you know?
Yeah.
There's always one guy who was like, I waited till the end and I was lied to. And then you still watch anyways to find out if that guy's lying.
Yeah, right.
If I see a UFO video where I'm like, I can't really tell if that was real or fake, I'll go to the comments to see what somebody says.
Yeah, that's where the experts hang
That's
out.
where the experts hang out, yeah.
On the fucking TikTok comments.
says
As an astrophysicist,
Says he's a doctor. I don't know. I think he knows what he's talking about.
he's got an anime guy as his fucking profile picture, but he seems like he knows what what he's talking
Picture
about.
of a Labrador told me it's scoliosis.
Says he's a pediatrician. I don't know.
Who does your algorithm think you guys are? What are the main things you get?
Like I said, a lot of Korean street food, a lot of that stuff. Just
Yeah.
and then just other cooking, baking recipes.
Your algorithm thinks you're Korean.
It's a lot of food. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a lot of gaming stuff. I'll get a lot of just fucking golf and sports,
Yeah.
F1, shit like that.
A lot of food. I get a lot of food.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of dogs getting saved.
Dogs too.
Yeah.
to become food.
I love when they have show like Dodo's videos. I think that's the name of the page, Dodo, where like they'll find like a street dog and they'll nurse him back to health, and then they show him running around like a couple months later.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are good. Those are good
are good.
stuff. But you know what I hate about those videos is like the ending is always predictable. Like you always know the dog's gonna end up great.
But not all the time. Every once in a while, they sneak one in on you.
They show it back on the street. They're
Yeah.
like, we left him where we found him.
Wearing like a mini skirt and a cigarette in his mouth.
Yeah, they're like after 3 months, Rex relapsed. They're just back to showing him on the fucking corner.
I get a lot of justice videos too, like bully, instant karma, those kind of things. I love those.
I love that.
Yeah, or carjacking gone wrong.
Bank robbers getting shot. As
Yeah.
a Jew, love to see it.
There was a point where I was watching nothing but car crash compilations. That was the
Really?
only thing it showed me
feel
was
like
car
that's bad
crash
luck.
Yeah,
compilations.
that's bad luck. Plane crash and car crash.
No,
Bad karma,
fuck,
dude.
no, never. It took everything in my power not to watch that. The plane that just went down in the gorge maybe a month ago. They had the guy's cell phone from inside the plane.
I
It was right before it happened.
Oh no, I didn't see
It was
any of
either in Indonesia or it was somewhere over there.
I was focused on a gorge of my own at the time. I was at the house. I was trying to stay on top of that video. Make sure that didn't get out.
Yeah, I can't watch the airplane crashes.
I have every time I used to be really bad about it. Anytime I would have a flight, I would just fucking stay up all night listening to black box recordings and shit.
Dude,
Really?
Those are the scariest fucking things
Yeah,
ever.
dude.
I did watch the documentary. I didn't get all the way through it, but I watched the what is it? The Malaysian
The one.
that disappeared.
yeah.
I got some theories on that. Something's not adding up there.
Chinese pilot.
Something.
China.
I don't think it crashed. I think they took it somewhere.
Who's they though?
I don't know. Somebody. Somebody.
How did they hide fucking 400 people that were on it?
I mean, you could kill them when they land or something like that.
Did you read the Atlantic article? I can't talk today. The Atlantic article about this fucking story?
No, but I like that you read the Atlantic. Look at you. Wow. I'm a highlights man.
I had a free trial.
There you go.
No, it was legitimately one of maybe the most impacted I ever was reading anything. This guy wrote up like his theory on what he thinks happened. This article went like super viral, but essentially what he said was one of the pilots had like a history of like being very depressed. He was like going through a divorce or some shit. Like he had like I think reported mental illness or something.
Is that the lead pilot? Because there's only two guys up there.
Two guys. I think it was the lead.
See, this documentary that I saw on Netflix, they show the three different theories of what could have happened.
Yeah.
The pilot did it, terrorism, or UFOs, or whatever it was.
UFOs made it into top 3 theories.
There wasn't UFOs, but it was something like that. Something weird.
Yeah.
And they kind of, not absconded. Validated the pilot. What's the word I'm looking for?
Exonerated.
Exonerated. Thank you. Yeah, they kind of exonerated that he didn't have any problems or anything
Really?
like that. Yeah.
Yeah, because what I read was like their theory was that he was like depressed. He was like, fuck it. Waited till his boy went to the bathroom, locked him out, and then took the plane up to like 40-something thousand to where it wouldn't depressurize the cabin anymore. And the article like vividly describes how it would have gone and what he would have heard. And it basically was like for about 40 seconds, you'd hear everybody screaming in the back, and then it would get real silent.
Yeah, that was one of the things.
Yeah.
If he did it, it was when the co-pilot went up to use the bathroom, he locked the door.
Yep.
Depressurized the cabin,
Yep.
which it's crazy that the pilot can do that.
He's got a button for it.
Put on his mask,
I did not know that.
and his mask apparently you only get 15 minutes of gas in those
Yeah.
in the things that come down.
Right.
So he just waited it out until everybody just passed out. But if you're doing that, you're not doing it like that. If you're losing it, You're fucking getting up there and you're immediately driving it into the ground.
But apparently
they said that he drove like 6 hours the other way and just waited till he ran out of gas and crashed.
Well,
that's not how somebody kills himself.
Yeah,
but apparently the picture they painted in this article was like, and again, this is a free trial. I don't know if I had all the premium features unlocked, but he went straight towards the sunset, straight towards the sun, middle of the sea, and was like, I'm gonna see some fucking beauty on my way out, while he was just in an Airbus of death behind him. And like, dude, it was a fucking it fucked up my week, that article. I was on the train, like. Dude, I was so depressed after reading that. Just the image of it, like all those people fucking dying behind. It really fucked with me. I didn't like it.
Yeah, it's a real piece of shit move to take fucking couple hundred people with you.
Yeah, that's fucking insane, dude.
Yeah, I don't know. I never really had a fear of flying though. Like I don't like listening to that stuff doesn't bother me because it's like the one time I just kind of like surrender the fact that like my life is in this guy's hands. Whoever's flying, I hope they're good enough. I can actually like relax with that. So if he does decide to fucking flip the depressurized cabin, whatever, dude, I'm the unluckiest guy in fucking history. It sucks.
Yeah.
I had a captain one time get on and he had an acoustic guitar on his back. Fucking scared the shit out of me. I don't want this fucking guy. Please tell me you're a flight attendant.
Yeah, at least play me a couple songs. Let me see. I don't want you to be new
I
at
want a
this.
fucking Vietnam vet, some dude that flew fighters in Iraq or something like that.
Just nerves of steel.
I don't want fucking Jimmy Buffett up there.
It's like they're like, you're supposed to be landing at 5. He's like, it's 5 o'clock somewhere. Just crash landing into a mountain. The one time I flew on a Spirit flight was I got like the big comfort seat. You know, it's like their first class, but
regular size.
It's about $70 round trip.
Sit on a cooler.
Yeah, no, it was horrific. This is the only time I've ever been on a plane where I watched the pilots just take multiple shits each. Like they were just taking breaks, dude.
That's
like,
insane.
It was like if I see on a normal flight, you see a pilot come out once, you're like, fucking unprofessional. You couldn't make it 7 hours, pussy, right? But like seeing both of them just take turns coming out, and then co-pilot was a chick. And I'll be honest, your misogyny seeps in quick when you realize co-pilot's a chick and your lead pilot's taking a shit. You're like, because they also like barricade the fucking door with like a
drink cart.
The drink cart, yeah. There's no code reds in there. And if you have a code red in the cockpit, your fucking homeboy's taking a shit. Terrifying.
They also have, I think on some of the bigger planes, they have like a little sleeping quarters downstairs below the cockpit.
Really?
They go down there and take a nap and shit like that.
I did not know that.
A lot of that stuff's all fucking computerized anyway.
Yeah, they pretty much take off and land, and most of that's almost automated anyway.
Yeah.
Which I like that.
I'm fine with that. Yeah, I'm fine
But you
with
want
that.
somebody with some steel behind the stick. You know what I mean? Somebody with some nerve.
Yeah. But the other thing, too, like you look at those fucking Boeing MAX 8s, like it was the computers that were fucking nosediving those things. They had.
Man, did you see a couple of those stories?
Oh, yeah.
You know what he's talking about?
No.
So it had like.
A sensor in the front. They needed 2 sensors, and said they just used one. And the plane had a software, it's called the MCAS, that would like change the nose angle, but it would get like bad reads off the one sensor and just start dipping the fucking nose.
It would think you were going too high.
Okay.
And it would just fucking it would just fucking dump you down. The one crashed, but the one before the one that crashed, it did it 26 times. They were able to get on the ground. You remember that? But 26 times they were flying.
I think I heard about
it would
this
just
one.
fucking dive. The guy would bring it back up, then it would fucking dive again. 26. Dude, I would have shit in my pants.
And you basically, they said like you had a 10-second window to disable the MCAS, which these pilots weren't trained to do. They basically just like threw out a quick memo like, hey, take a look at that.
Yeah.
And if you didn't do it in that 10-second window, your plane would take such a fucking nosedive that it wasn't going to be recovered.
So they got one dude like flipping through a manual
Yeah.
on his lap while they just keep diving down, dude.
Yeah,
oh
dude,
my God.
Fucking brutal.
The scariest experience I ever had on a plane, there was one time landing in Palm Springs is a fucking nightmare because that desert air like forms these pockets where like as you're heading towards the runway in that final descent, you are like making hard angles. Like the wings are coming to the ground. And like people were like throwing up and shit. Where like I looked over at my brother and I was like, we are not staying on this runway. This is fucking insane. Sure enough, we land and the fucking stewardesses are like, that's Palm Springs. They're like every fucking time. But like that was just normal for them.
Wow.
The other time I was flying out of LA, it was nighttime. I look out of my window and I see in the distance just lightning in the skies. Like I see like, but it's far away enough that like you can fully see like, all right, we're not in that area.
Sure.
But I'm seeing that, and we start hitting some real turbulence. And this was one of those planes where you could plug your headphones in and listen to the pilot's channel.
Yeah, okay.
I think they fully. You can listen to air traffic control.
No shit.
I think they've fully removed this since. This was like 5 years ago.
Yeah.
But you can plug in and you listen to them just go like.
Oh, that's awesome.
It was fucking awesome. I found out about it because I heard Louis talking about it on a show forever ago. And so I'm listening. And they're like, the pilot's like, we're getting some pretty rough chop up here. Is it all right if we move up about 1,000? And immediately air traffic control is like, we got reports it's even worse up there, Captain. And he just goes, all right, we'll do the best we can. And that was it. And I was like, that's
the guy you want, though.
Yeah,
Fucking nerves of steel.
But it blew my mind that was the whole conversation came down to, we'll do the best we can. And that was it. Because all they do for turbulence is they just fucking turn the airspeed down. They just give it less throttle. Right. Because their thinking is if you go really fast into the turbulence, you can cause structural damage to the plane. So they're just like, we slow down, we're not going to have a fucking problem. Because it's just like random swirls of air hitting into the engine going different directions. Right. This is the kind of stuff you read up at 5 a.m. while you're having a panic attack before a flight.
So if I feel a bump, it's totally fine. I'm going to be okay.
That's what the algorithm's feeding you. You're trying to get to sleep. Some black box footage.
Yeah. It's almost like they know you got a flight coming. They're like, how about we rewatch all of Sully on TikTok?
Yeah.
Part 3 in the bio. Have you guys ever had any scary flights?
I had an abandoned takeoff once. That was fucking scary.
I'd freak out.
Abandoned takeoff?
Like you're flying down the runway and then they slam the brakes on and you're like you're like peeling your face off the screen in front of you. Like everybody around just starts freaking. And that's the thing is like nobody stays calm. The pilot's the only one on any plane with nerves of steel.
Yeah.
And everyone else is just, it's like, we're on the ground.
If the flight attendants aren't freaking out, that's usually a good indication.
That's what I do.
You see them running around.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, because the thing is, like, when you're slamming the brakes like that at a abandoned takeoff, you're still going like 150 miles an hour.
Dude, it was crazy.
And you're stopping like, how much does a fucking plane weigh, dude?
Yeah, I don't know.
At least 1,000 pounds. Like those things are big.
I had
probably 1,000.
I've had some bad turbulence going into Oahu in Hawaii. My girlfriend's family's from there, so we go back. Like once a year, once every 2 years or whatever, and it's always fucking brutal coming in.
Yeah.
And dude, that shit, the first time it happened, I haven't flown that much in my life. Like,
oh, really?
Before we started touring, I flew maybe 3 times before that.
Really?
I flew to California when I was in 9th grade. I flew to North Carolina when I was in like my sophomore year of college, and then I flew to the Laughing Skull Comedy Festival.
Yeah.
I don't know, 7 years ago, whatever. But before that, nothing.
Jesus,
nothing.
wow.
And man, it was fucking frightening. But then I did a bunch of research on turbulence and all that stuff. And if they're not freaking out, don't freak out.
Can you imagine you're on a plane and you just hear, like through the intercom, like, holy fucking shit!
Yeah,
battle stations.
Oh my
Foley,
God.
get your fat ass on the 50 count.
They're like, Foley, lean left. Trying to sway
I
out
did
the
have
plane.
this embarrassing situation on a flight. You'll appreciate this. So you know when you get the exit row,
Yeah.
you know, I need a seatbelt extender. And apparently, if you need a seatbelt extender, you can't be one of the guys in the exit row.
I think I once got kicked out of this for the same reason.
Dude, I'm in there with my girl. And, you know, we're sitting there. We got the extra leg room. We're chilling, fucking all that stuff. And I go to the flight attendant. I'm like, can I grab a seatbelt extender? And he gets in. He comes back and he goes, listen, I can give you the extender, but you can't sit here because, you know, you're not physically able to help people. So then this fucking guy stands up and goes, folks, this man is unable to help in the case of an emergency. Do we have any volunteers to switch seats? I'm with my girl. These fucking 2 yoke dudes stand up. They're like, we'll take care of it. And I had to fucking switch seats with them.
Yeah.
Fucking goober. My girl stayed too.
Oh, that's fucked up.
Sat in the middle of them.
That's fucked up. You kind of deserve that.
Yeah.
That's a punishment.
She came with me.
Dude, probably the worst flight I ever had. I got food poisoning like probably 5 hours before a cross-country flight. I was going to headline Comedy Underground in Seattle for the first time. It was like my first headlining weekend for them. So I was like, I have to do it. I went out and did like a show in Boston the night before. I had a burger at the place, woke up. I had a 7 like 4 a.m. just fucking both ends spewing, rough time.
Yeah.
I get to security. I'm like, I think I'm good, dude. And then right as I take my laptop out, my body's just like, hey, we're gonna fucking throw up right now. So I go to the water bottle thing like it's my best friend. I'm like, oh hey, what's that? And I just fucking throw up right in front of this family of 4 that you just like, he's throwing up, honey. Don't look at him.
Oh my.
Wait, in the airport or on the plane?
In the air, but this is pre-COVID, so I'm like taking my laptop out of my
back
bag.
when you could throw
and
up on a
and I
child.
throw up in the TSA line, like into where people put their empty water bottles before they get
that's
in. So I'm
respectable.
like,
I thought you meant the refillable water station.
No.
You were
Just
yakking in
washing
there.
it down. No, so then I get on the plane. I had like a water or something waiting to get on the plane. Thought I was fine. Had a window seat, and then right when they start doing like the safety announcements, all that stuff, start taxiing out. I'm like, hey, you're gonna fucking throw up again. You get that like
Jesus.
and I'm like, I'm not gonna throw up in the bag.
There ain't enough room in that bag.
Yeah, and I was like, I gotta get out, dude. They're like, what do you mean we can't sit up? I was like, you need to stand up, or I'm gonna fucking throw up on you. And then as they're leaving, they're like, you can't stand up, and I just run to the back of the plane. Everyone starts looking at me like I'm a fucking terrorist.
Yeah.
So I'm running during the safety announcement meeting to the back of the fucking plane.
That's the worst seat too. Fucking window when you're locked in like that.
Terrible, dude. They ended up like moving everybody else, and I just had my own row. So kind of a life hack, I guess, if you ever want your own seat on a plane, just fucking throw up a
Start
couple of
yakking.
times. Yeah.
You're stretched out. You got the 4 TVs going.
Let's do plugs real quick before we get to the closing section here. Drew, what you got coming up, my man?
I'm on the road pretty much for the next few months straight, so check out my website, drewduncomedy.com. New clips every week at Drew Dunn Comedy, and then character debates.
Yeah, and I want to say Drew is legitimately a fucking beast on stage. Every time I'm on the road, somebody from the crowd asks me, do you know Drew Dunn? And I go, yeah. And they go, we saw him here. He was the funniest motherfucker we've ever seen. They said that to me after they've watched me perform. They don't give a shit. Like, this happened to me literally 5 times.
You were good, but you know that Drew Dunn? You ever heard of him? Kills me.
Drew is a beast, man.
Oh,
And,
thanks, man.
Check out his podcast, Character Debates, available everywhere. H. Foley, what you got coming up?
Buddy, we got Are You Garbage twice a week. We got we're on tour right now. We're doing the Stay Trashy tour. If you're listening to this live, we'll be in Vermont and Connecticut this weekend. We added 2 shows, so grab some tickets, come see us.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
And on my end, just keep supporting this show, guys. Help us grow. Drop a comment, drop a like. See us in the premieres every Monday and Friday at 1 o'clock on YouTube and streaming live on gasdigitalnetwork.com every Monday and Friday, 6:30 p.m. Watch those episodes early. Use promo code LEV. And if you're in New York City, May 11th, Lev Fer and Friends, it's going to be a fucking hot one at the Stand. Make sure you're there. Dropping a lineup soon. And May 18th through 20th, I'll be in Vancouver at the House of Comedy. And April 27th to 29th, I'll be in Dallas at the House of Comedy, Plano. So come on out to those shows. It's going to be a fucking blast. And that's pretty much it in terms of plugs. Let's go to... You guys watch fights, right?
Fights?
Yeah, you watch UFC?
Not really that big into them, but I saw the dude one the other night.
The Izzy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's can we pull up this video? So people, I don't know, I feel like people aren't talking about this enough. So Israel Adesanya got off this fucking miracle knockout on Pereira the other night.
Fucking lit that guy up.
Crazy. When I was watching it, I was like, he was in deep water, was hurt, and he fucking threw a last Hail Mary, and it happened to be perfect.
Yeah, it seemed that, but it also seemed a little calculated where he was just going to kind of weather those punches and then just saw a window and just fucking knocked him out. Just fucking perfect.
Tough dude.
Incredible.
Crazy.
Incredible. But here's what's nuts. So at one point, I don't know if you guys were watching, after as he's celebrating, Izzy like points to someone in the crowd. And,
this I do know.
And then he drops like knocked out. The person he pointed at was Alex Pereira's son.
The guy that he fought.
Yeah. So the kid's like 12.
Okay.
And he points at his kid and does a fucking knocked out impression of his dad.
Wow.
And the reason he did
I pointed at him and I saw him and I was like, hey. Just to remind him, I saw him backstage. We're cool. He's a great champion. He's a warrior. He is his story, bro. I mean that.
So the reason he did this, when the first time they fought in kickboxing, Izzy got knocked out, and when he was coming to, he saw the 4-year-old of that kid acting him out, like knocked out. So 12 years later or whatever, he gets this fucking payback on a child. Is that over the line, or are we loving this?
That's like
I respect it.
That's the fighter's mentality
I
to
respect
a T,
it.
dude.
I have the kid taunting him the first time.
Yeah, can we see that?
I mean, he's 4, granted.
That's a savage ass kid, dude.
But that's a community. You know, like he said, the father is a professional fighter and all that stuff. I respect that.
Yeah.
Kid ain't gonna fucking do that shit no more. Yeah. He learned his lesson.
I think it's so funny that he held on to that for that long. That was
That's
like
the
in
kind of
his
grudge I like.
Yeah, fucking.
He's the fucking people's champ, man.
He's in the gym thinking about a toddler to make him work harder.
Dude, he's like, if from the last time they fought like that, he became like a 3-time champion, like 7 title defenses, millionaire, huge celebrity. He's still thinking about this fucking kid.
Fucking wild, dude.
It kind of shows like all of us. We never forget like times people were shitty to us, said something.
Sure.
You know?
Yeah.
I've heard people tell me stories of me being a dick to them, and I'm like, I don't even remember knowing you then.
Yeah.
Like, but that, you know.
Meanwhile, they have it like, the equivalent of this, the little kid flopping over. And he's planning it the whole time. He knocks him out. The first thing he does is, where's that fucking kid? That's in your brain.
He looked for him.
That's a tough look, too,
He looked
man.
for him.
I would be...
Just fucking knocked your dad out.
Yeah.
You had to look past all the fucking Dane Cook foam fingers just to spot this kid and be like, your dad had it coming.
I respect it.
Yeah.
I respect it.
That's a nice grudge.
Yeah, that's fucking...
That was for the title, right? He won the title back
did.
to
Got
that
it
guy?
back from him, yeah.
Man.
Yeah. Do you guys have any active grudges? Because our phone lines are working. We can.
Yeah, let's fucking get someone on the line. I don't really think I'm not a grudge guy. I forgive too easily, maybe.
Oh, that's nice.
Like, even if somebody pisses me off, and within a couple of days, I'm like, yeah, whatever. They're just stupid or whatever
Yeah.
it is. I don't like hang on to that stuff. Maybe a couple like managers or coaches that you just fucking hated when you were there and you never got closure with. Like, I got a couple like that, like an old high school baseball coach that I'd like to like hit with a clipboard or something like that.
You're still a substitute teacher in this fantasy?
Yeah, he's still, yeah.
I'd love to really take a tennis ball chair to this fella, you know?
I'll give you that. A couple restaurant managers were dicks.
Yeah.
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 I'm trying to think.
I had one in particular, this guy, Aaron. Aaron Benos is his name. Fuck this guy, dude. Actually, it's all coming back to me. He was a fucking creep to the point where he's like a maybe 55-year-old guy, solid mustache, and he's just like hitting on every female employee at the place. And then he would just come in and make like ridiculous demands, like, hey, you know what we should do here? We should move all these tables around. We should just totally change everything. It's like the restaurant opens in 30 minutes. Yeah, we'll just make it happen.
Yeah,
just like shit like that and disappear. And yeah.
Sometimes the corporate restaurant middle management, they can be the worst. They can be the worst. Sometimes they can be awesome, but a lot of times they can be the worst.
Yeah, because you waited for a long time back.
Long
in the day,
time,
right?
man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was. I did it for like fucking 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, I did the same. I was waiter, bartender, and then I did like banquet events for a long time too.
I feel like everybody should have to.
Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah.
I mean, it should be like America's, like how Israel sends kids
With the
to
army,
2 years. Yeah. That's our army.
You gotta bust tables at a pizza joint.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
did that too. Fucking Cece's Pizza in North Carolina.
Cece's.
You guys remember that place?
I know. See, that's the buffet,
Remember it?
right?
What do you mean? It's still around.
Still here.
I think it died in the 20s.
But they don't. I feel like they don't have them up here.
They don't have them up
Cece's
north.
here?
They have like one in all of New England and like New York area.
Yeah, I see the commercial. I feel like they got a couple floating around.
Dude, that place is so fucking gross. It's like it's literally cardboard, and they're like, "We'll put a whole lasagna on this pizza."
Yeah.
It's just like I used to have to work like the 4th of July, like the 4th of July at North Carolina Cece's Pizza,
Where'd you live in North Carolina?
outside of Raleigh.
Okay.
Because weren't you in like Wilmington or something for a while?
I was in Wilmington, Red Soul Beach for about 9 months.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Wilmington. All I know about it is nice beaches and dirty heroin.
The heroin I can't speak to, but the beaches were nice. Coke was pretty good, I'll tell you that.
It'd be great if it was the other way around. He's like, I never saw the beach there, but
Never went to the beach, but the
Heroin's
unbelievable.
You've been misinformed, my friend. Hey, you're getting it at Cece's. Of course it's stepped on.
they said there's like a real drug culture out there in the old Wilmy.
Yeah, I mean, what else are you gonna do?
Yeah.
It's like barbecue and drugs.
Yeah.
Wrightsville Beach is beautiful, though.
There's a lot of good fucking areas around there. Like Charleston, South Carolina is fucking gorgeous.
Charleston's fucking
Charleston's
banging. That's
Yeah.
so crazy.
Yeah.
We were just there last Labor Day.
Oh, were you?
Fucking tight little town.
Fuck yeah.
Real nice. Food's fantastic. Great restaurant scene down there, too.
That's a nice place.
fantastic.
And it's all. I like a place that has its own vibe going. you
Yeah.
know, where they like
That place 100% has its own vibe.
Yeah, that's everybody should check that place out. That's a good fucking spot. But yeah, this fucking what should we wrap up? We're at 56 minutes here. Oh, we're talking about this. Studies show 50% of men believe that in an emergency they'd be able to safely land a plane.
Yeah,
How do we feel, boys?
I can do it.
They won't even let us in the exit row. Let alone.
I could at least give everybody the confidence over the intercom that I could do it. I would have the calming voice even if I was like freaking out in the cockpit. I'd be like, "Don't worry, guys, I got this. I played Flight Simulator 5 times."
That's where you would lose them.
Yeah, they'd be like, "Oh shit, we're fucked."
Don't worry, guys. I was playing Grand Theft Auto last night. Nah, no fucking way, man.
You're like, does anybody in the back have an Xbox controller?
Yeah, I don't use this one. I don't use this.
I haven't bought the full kit yet.
Yeah,
Because when you watch those videos, when you see Instagram videos of them landing, they're doing this the whole time. And they're still like flying like smoothly.
Yeah.
So it's not like you're just going like that. You're fucking jerking everything around.
Now,
Yeah.
if you could have like a YouTube video on your phone, you'd have to pay for the Wi-Fi, obviously, which is a bummer.
You gotta log in.
You gotta log in. They're like, we got 4
Charging
minutes
me for the
You're like,
drinks?
"Fuck."
What are you doing? Saving lives?
You want me to fucking land this plane or what?
Yeah.
99 cents a minute. What are we doing?
Give me the Boingo Day Pass.
I'd rather fucking crash. I gotta be a T-Mobile customer. Huh?
Kidding me?
Yeah.
No way.
I'll be honest. I'm pretty sure I could land a plane.
Yeah.
With like step-by-step help on a fucking air traffic control headset, I'm pretty sure I could do it.
Dude, do you know how many buttons are up there? It would take you 20 minutes
431.
to find this and that and the other thing.
Well, here's the thing. So actually, from flight simulators,
Okay.
you know,
You've used Flight Simulator.
I was pretty big into the new one that came out. It was pretty incredible.
Really?
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
But like, so if they told me like change heading to 340, I could fucking do it. I know where it's at.
What does that mean? What's 340?
Who fucking cares? Dude?
Just where we're going.
It's like I think it's the overall direction. Like,
Yeah, it's
where
like
you- where
20,
you head.
20
Yeah, where
degrees
you
to the
head.
left.
Yeah. So no, I'm pretty sure I could do like almost all of it.
I think Frank could do it the way he just said that. That was pretty smooth.
Don't you feel like somebody with some flight sim experience with step-by-step air traffic control could get a plane to the ground?
Yeah, absolutely.
only
with air
problem
traffic
is-
control, they know every button in that cockpit, and they can walk you through it calmly and effectively. I think.
Really?
Yeah, I think so.
Huh. All
Yeah,
right.
I could do it.
Where were they on the 9/11 hijackings?
Yeah. Well, I don't think those guys were looking for instructions.
Couldn't tell them to pull up.
But the margin for error is so bad. If you hit that ground a little bit too hard,
it's crazy.
that wheel's going to bust and you're fucking done.
Yeah. I'm even picky with pilots now. I'm like, this guy sucks, dude.
Oh, always judge him. You got a cowboy up there? Fucking, come on. What's this guy
on,
fucking doing?
What are we showing off for?
I always get nervous when we fly into JFK and you go out into the water.
Yeah.
Dude, that really
hate
fucking
that.
creeps me
LaGuardia.
out.
The,
I think,
the
right?
low turn. There's like recent landing I had that fucking. They dipped that right wing.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my.
And LaGuardia,
God.
they do that sometimes too. It's like a fucking corkscrew.
Yeah, when you're not coming in flat and they make that last second
Yeah.
deep turn, I fucking hate
Yeah.
that. I'm like, you couldn't plan that out earlier, you fucking pricks. But they give them like a whole fucking path. Like every turn is like accounted for. I think even before they take off.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of it's owned by certain airlines too. Like certain airlines like buy pieces of airspace almost that they can
Really?
use. Yeah, that's why sometimes you're like, why do we go all the way up and down here? It's because fucking Southwest or
Yeah.
FedEx or something.
Yeah, they know what the fuck they're
Yeah,
I didn't know these airlines were Jewish.
Dude, yeah. They're all of them. All of them.
We came to collect rent for this cloud. Guys, you are the fucking best, man. I really appreciate you guys coming on the show today.
Buddy, thanks for having me.
This was a hoot and a half.
Yeah,
Drew,
man.
good to meet you, buddy.
Yeah, good to meet you too, man.
Yeah,
Fuck
fucking
yeah.
guys, support Drew Dunn, support H. Foley. I'm glad you guys were excited they're coming on. These are fucking great guests, great comics. Support them in everything they do. And tell a friend about the show. You know, just help us spread this word of mouth organically. Go on Instagram, Twitter, whatever you got. And we love you guys, man. Thank you so much for being a part of the show. And we'll see you on